Welcome, I am Duke Doom, and this is my review for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. Let's get bloody. Because that's all we're gonna be. Alright, I've seen the movie twice. And I had to punch myself so I wouldn't turn it off both times. But I thought, hey, let's give it a second view. And I hate it. I just hate it so much. It does what everything new movies does that's wrong. It has no soul. It has unlikable characters. It has some kind of social comments that doesn't even hit home. Okay. I'm a fan of the original Tobe Hooper 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. It's gritty, it's violent without actually showing that much. It has a great cast. I love the psychotic family, like the cook, the hitchhiker, grandpa, and of course Leatherface himself. And it has a final girl that I find pretty interesting in Sally Hardesty, played by Marilyn Burns. Rest in peace. So, this movie is supposed to take place after the first one, ignoring all of the sequels. This is a spoiler review, by the way. I will say that in the comments. Now, I gotta say that the back catalog of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies haven't been that grand. I love the first one, I love the second one because it's so over the top, but it still has soul, and it has Bill Moseley as Chop Top and Carolyn Williams as the final girl Stretch. And I like Jim Sido, who plays Drayton Sawyer, the cook. He's amazing and awesome. Third one, I didn't really see a point in it being made. It kind of ignores everything. Part 4, well, it has McConaughey, who is kind of a crazy Sawyer family guy with a remote leg, and that's about the funny thing. The remakes are pretty good, but they lack the dark humor, and I don't know. I really don't like them that much. Then we have, of course, Texas Chainsaw 3D, which was weird, but at least it kind of showed the Sawyer family in the beginning. Then we have Leatherface again. The continuity in these movies are just baffling, man. Anyway, that shows the backstory of Leatherface, which is now ignored, I guess, with this movie. I don't know. Who gives a crap, actually? And I found that I didn't care. And now we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a trend, you see, not using a letter or a subtitle. We have Scream. Not to be what's it called? Not the same as the first Scream, which also is also called Scream. We have Halloween 2018, I think it was, which is a sequel to Halloween, and both are named Halloween. And now we got Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is a sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You get it? Alright. Kind of feel like we're gonna get a Friday the 13th. That is a sequel to Friday the 13th, and we're gonna get a Nightmare on Elm Street that's a sequel to a Nightmare on Elm Street. Just to get everyone confused. Anyway, the story of this one is that a group of influencers, oh my god, I hate influencers. Hey guys, listen to me. I'm an influencer, so I know. Let's cut off our nose because that's so popular right now. The next video, did you cut off your nose? That's not popular. Don't get me started on that. Well, anyway, it's a group of influencers buying a small Texas town by the name of Harlow, which I didn't really get it. But in the first Chainsaw movie, wasn't the house, the Sawyer house, out somewhere far away from civilization? In this one, they kind of retconned it, so it's either on the outskirts of town or in town. I don't know. Well, the influencers are trying to evict a woman who has an orphanage in town. In that orphanage, Leatherface lives with her after the massacre of the first movie. Why, I don't know. And she gets a heart attack because these influencers try to throw her out. And that sets off Leatherface. So he cuts off his own mother's face and puts on his own. You have seen that in the trailer. And I can't stop but laugh every time I see that, but because he rises up from the cornfield and he looks like a penis with eyes. The whole time I see him, he just looks like he had a condom over it. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, he goes about killing everyone. Which is good, because I hated the main characters, every single one of them. So, as soon as they got killed, I was like, yes, the movie's over, so there's only 5 left. There's also some misplaced social comments about gun laws. Because one of the final girl in this one is a survivor of a school shooting, and she hates guns. And her sister actually insults a stranger in the beginning, calling him small dick and shit. She's just a complete peephole. Anyway, after that it kind of changes its mind, because it shows us that the only way to survive is to use guns. It's so weird, I don't know. Anyway, they run around and get killed and their head smashed in with a sledgehammer, blah blah. It just doesn't have any soul. And then we get to the famous bus scene where a guy holds up, everyone holds up their cell phones live streaming, and one guy says, don't try anything, we're gonna cancel you, and he slaughters them all. So in a way I feel it's kind of like a movie against the Gen Z, or what the fuck they're called, the millennials or whatever they're called, because it takes great pleasure in killing them in the most painful way. I guess that's a little plus anyway. Then of course I got to say this. Sally Hardesty, not played by Burns, because she died a couple of years ago. And I guess they took a look at Halloween 2000, to Halloween Kills, and thought, oh yeah, let's bring in Sally Hardesty, because that will be an original character. And it doesn't. I'm sorry, that's Nasse, my dog. I don't know, he has a cat or something. And I guess they thought she would make an impact, but since it's not the same actress, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't feel like a nostalgic back trip, you know. If it was Carolyn Burns, it might have worked. Marilyn Burns, I'm sorry. But it isn't. And she gets killed about after 3 minutes of time. So she doesn't have any impact, and she makes the most stupid thing. She actually goes up to Leatherface, shoves a shotgun in his face, and asks him, do you remember me? And he doesn't. Maybe because it's not the same Leatherface that is, but never mind. And she doesn't shoot him. He just walks past her. And then she kills him. He kills her, I'm sorry. And the one from the shooting, the school shooting, picks up his shotgun and shoots Leatherface, and everyone thinks he's dead. But in the end, he cuts off the sister's head, and the other one is just driving away or screaming and going away in a electric car. Now, there's no redeeming features in this movie whatsoever, and I really wish they could have just stopped after part 2. But Hollywood wants money, and they see that Halloween kills and Halloween ends and Halloween 2018, and Scream did well, so heck, why not do another Leatherface movie that nobody asked for? But they don't get the character. They never get the character of Leatherface right for one bit. In the first movie, he's like this big man-child, and you can see him like he has anxiety because he has to kill, and most of why he kills is because he's afraid and because the family forces him to kill. I would say that Gunnar Hansen, who played the original Leatherface, his Leatherface, if he had gotten to a loving, caring family, he would never have been a killer. This is like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. He just kills for the sake of it, and he is smart and he makes traps. Masse, please. And he doesn't have that greedy feeling. There's no sweat, no like grime, no house filled with bones and skulls, and there's no grandpa and there's no crazy family, because Leatherface is never as interesting without the crazy hillbilly family backing him up. That's just the way it is. As a standalone character, he's pretty boring. It's just like Jason. Anything else? That's pretty much it. It's a really bad movie. And if you're new to horror, I think you can get some enjoyment out of this, because if you're only want gore and blood and CGI blood, yes, there's CGI shit in this, then go ahead. You will probably like it, but you could watch a Friday the 13th movie instead and get the same thing, or any other slasher, because the 1974 Texas Chainsaw wasn't a slasher, it was a thriller, an art house psycho thriller. So, I hope this ends the Texas Chainsaw Massacre story. Now, I would like to see a sequel, if they include Bill Moseley as Chop Top, Leatherface, and bring back Caroline Williams as Stretch, the hero from part 2, because she did so much more destructive things towards the Sawyer family than Marilyn Burns' character. The only thing she did was scream and jump out the window. Stretch in Texas Chainsaw 2 actually takes out Chop Top with a razor. We don't really know if he's dead, so he can come back. Unfortunately, Jim Sido, who plays Drayton Sawyer, the cook, is dead. But yeah, that I would feel would be interesting if it makes it a really black comedy. Well, enough rant. I would give the Texas Chainsaw Massacre a 1 out of 5, because I feel it's competently filmed. It doesn't look shabby, and that's about it. So, that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't watch this movie, watch something else. Love you guys. Embrace your inner darkness, and I will see you in the next video. Duke out.